Welcome to Big Orange Turf Talk, where Rocky Top meets real talk. I'm Josh Andrews, your host, and today we're going to be diving into the Tennessee 26-24 win over UAB, what we learned about the team, what has to change heading into the next week, and what we need to do, and the key injuries that we have as we travel into Starksville this Saturday to try to get the win over Mississippi State. Joey Aguilar put up some big numbers against UAB, but does it really tell the whole story? The Vols dominated on offense, yet they gave up over 370 pass yards to a UAB team that really is not exactly elite. When Mississippi State is coming up this Saturday, this can't really continue. We'll get into the defense here in a little bit, but first we're going to start working on talking about the offense and recap of the game. So Joey Aguilar, honestly, he played a very efficient and very accurate game this weekend, throwing for 15 for 22 for 218 yards with a 9.9 yard average, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception in that win against UAB. The 1 interception, I'm chalking that one up. We all saw it. It was tipped up in the air. It is what it is. He threw it into some tight coverage, but it's one of those balls that's 50-50. You hate to see it happen, but it did happen. With that being said, Jake Merklinger, he threw for 8 passes, only completed 8, 57 yards, 7.1 average, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Kind of came in a little bit later into the game than I really anticipated. I fully anticipated that at halftime we were possibly going to be seeing Joey Aguilar on the bench and letting Merklinger do more. With that said, the rushing stats for the UAB game: Peyton Lewis, 11 carries, 81 yards, 7.4 yard average with 1 touchdown. We had Deshaun Bishop, 9 carries, 59 yards, 6.6 average with 2 touchdowns. And then Star Thomas, 9 carries, 51 yards, 5.7 and 1 touchdown. So obviously our ground game was showing up like it always does, producing plenty of touchdowns, plenty of yards. Overall, the offense was very balanced, passing and rushing. We got up to a 21-point lead in the first quarter. I think from that point forward, we knew that we were never turning back, and we kind of slowed the game down passing-wise. Scored 21 in the second quarter, 13 in the fourth quarter, and then nothing in the fourth quarter to end the game off 56-24. We were up 42-7 at halftime, so I totally fully anticipated that once we got out of halftime, it was going to slow down game-wise. I will say, though, our offense was good, but definitely have some things that we could work on. Chris Brazzell, phenomenal game. 5 receptions, 62 yards. Mike Matthews, 3 receptions, 53 yards with a nice long catch down the left sideline early in the game. He came out and played a really good game. You got Brendan Staley again with 3 receptions and 50 yards with a 16.7 yard average. Our wide receivers continue to look better and better this year as the season goes on. Considering last year it was a lot of dropped passes and overthrows. This year it has definitely turned the corner with our top 3 wide receivers, and looking forward to seeing them this weekend in Mississippi State as well. Seems to be all healthy on the offensive side of the ball. But let's talk defense. Defensive-wise, we had a good game on the ground, defending the run, but in the air we had some slight issues. Jalen Kitna for UAB, he threw 51 attempts this past Saturday, which is a lot of attempts, and he completed 38 of them, but he threw for 364 yards with a 7.1 average, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The interception was just a remarkable play on defense. Great ball vision, finding that ball, jumping at it, getting that pick. That was wonderful. But overall on the defensive side, we did have a couple of things that really did not look the greatest this weekend. Let's find where we're at. So the first drive that UAB had that got a touchdown for them, I think on that drive there were 2 pass plays over 20 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so on a 3rd and 15, UAB, we had them back on the 33-yard line, and this was in the second quarter. So, I mean, this is, yeah, we're up by 21 at this point, but we still have our starters in. We're still playing a full starting crew. Should be getting after this ball. But we let it go for a 22-yard pass all the way down to the 45. that's not what you want on a 3rd and 15. We can't have that this weekend against Mississippi State. Later on in that drive for the touchdown, that was the 30-yard touchdown pass that Kitna threw over to Brandon Hawkins Jr. Again, 3rd down, we should have dialed up pressure, should have gotten to the quarterback on that, especially against a superior or a non-superior team in the Blazers. We definitely should have got into halftime with them not scoring anything. Now, granted, we're being hard on the guys. It was a great score. Halftime, we walked in 42-7. I'm not going to say much bad. The offense definitely stood up this game and held the rock for the team. After that, we come out right behind that 12-play, 75-yard touchdown in 4 minutes. Then we do hold UAB on their last possession of halftime. We go into halftime. UAB comes out. Our defense holds strong. They come out. They punt. It's a 3 and out to come out of the halftime. I like that out of the defense. You go into the locker room. You come back out. Everything's good. After that, I do believe we had UAB had a punt. Then we had a touchdown for 5 plays, 54 yards for Tennessee. That put it up 42-10. Then UAB had the interception, which, again, the interception, I don't really count those kind of interceptions. I know they're on the stat sheet. I know they're not fun to have, but to me, that's just the way the game goes sometimes. Tennessee then went on a 3 and out. Not fun. Oh, well, I take it back. We had 1 first down during that next possession going almost into the 4th quarter. A good run by Peyton Lewis, 12 yards up the middle for a first down. After that, we went 3 and out. After that, our defense did step up again in the 3rd with a fumble return for the touchdown. I think that was Caleb Beasley. Yes, that was Caleb Beasley that returned that fumble in 23 yards for the touchdown. After that, I do believe at this point we were playing a lot of new players. I do believe we played a ton of new players, but as the final stat sheets as it goes out, you had UAB get a touchdown. Then the 4th quarter started. It was a punt, and another punt. So there's 3 back-to-back punts there. And then UAB got a last-minute touchdown, and then Tennessee ran the clock out and closed the game out. So with that being said, overall, good win for the Vols. We're going to be 3-1 going in. It looks like the AP polls brought us in at number 15 again this week. And Mississippi State, I believe, is still unranked. They are 4-0. They're unranked, with us being number 15 going in. With that said, like I said, the offense had a pretty good game. Just the 1 interception, no fumbles lost. I do believe Joey Aguilar did let 1 drop to the ground, but did something that he did not do last game, which was jumped on that ball instead of trying to pick it up and make something out of it. Jumped on the ball, lived for another play. I really liked seeing that from him. With that being said, team-wise, Boo Carter had a really, really good game this past week. Love to see him step up. Other than the muffed punt that he had for the fumble, that's stuff that he's just gotta learn, that sometimes you just need to take the fair catch, secure the catch, and move on to the next set of downs. Boo Carter did have 1 sack, though. He had 9 tackles. Played really good. I think 6 of those tackles were solo tackles. So solid performance there. 1 sack as well, 3 tackles for loss. So Boo Carter played a exceptional game. Hopefully he can show up for Mississippi State and play the same way that he's playing there. Aaron Carter had a pretty good day. 5 tackles, 2 of them were solo. And then we had 3 separate players with 6 tackles. But I'm telling you, we played a lot of players. We had 75 total tackles in the game. And I'm telling you, there's people that are recording tackles that are down in the 4th string, 3rd and 4th string. So that's always good to see our players getting to have that time to shine in the second half. With that being said, we did have the coverage busts. I do believe that we're given too much cushion at times. I know that our secondary is slim right now with the 2 cornerbacks out, but I think that we need to press a little bit more. That's my personal opinion. If you were impressed with the defense or with the offense, let me know what you think down in the comments. And we'll have that conversation down there. But personally, myself, I believe that the defense, they didn't play to their best ability. 24 points to a UAB team. I know this team last year, we didn't lose that much on defense from last year. I know this team can hold a UAB team to 14 or less points. We did it all last season. There's no reason we shouldn't be doing it here. I know that we're missing two of our cornerbacks. That's going to give the opportunity for more downfield plays, especially with having a freshman on one side. But we've got to be able to step up in those positions once we get into the SEC play, and we'll see where Gerard McCoy is this weekend. And Ricky Gibson, I don't know where they're going to be at going into the Mississippi State game, but we'll see. I think the injury report comes out Wednesday, so we'll take a look at that at that point in time. With that being said, as for the injuries, I do believe that there is a update on the injury for Hobbs. I think they're expecting Devin Hobbs to actually play against Mississippi State this weekend. So that's going to be a big gain back for us against Mississippi State. So we'll obviously get more updated on that later in the week, but let's keep an eye out for that. He may be coming back into this game to allow us to really have some help out there on the line side of things. And that's going to do it today for this episode of Big Orange Turf Talk. I'm your host, Josh Andrews. Tune in with us Wednesday as we go over the Tennessee-Mississippi State matchup this Saturday, and we'll go over the previews and predictions that we have for that game. Hope you have a wonderful day. Once again, leave a like, subscribe down here, leave a comment if you'd like to give your take on last week's game or the game coming up against Mississippi. Y'all have a wonderful and glorious day.